Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Waco, Texas. This weekend, we'll ultimately see two courses, but first, we kick off at the beloved Beast. Our first Disc Golf Pro Tour Elite Plus event kicks off now at the Waco Annual Charity Open, presented by Prodigy. Greg Barsby is on hole number 17. We saw him a little earlier today. And no problem picking up a birdie there. And when it was all said and done, Barsby, a 12 under effort. What a start. Look at that, 6 for 6. And then closing out as strong as he did, catching up with Connor Rock on 15. The fact that he's looking at a putt is insane. Oh, and he cans it. That's the eagle for Connor Rock on hole 15. The long thrower from Arizona. When we first were here, everybody was throwing backhands to this hole. Now, this seems to have gained in popularity and go in. Oh, and just over the top for Hammes.
You can see how Hammes took that inside line. A much better effort than we saw from Wiki. This is perfect. Backhand, nice hyzer at the end. Park job.
No putting required for Jones. Barella's going to need a jumper. The step putt, I should say, left side chain and in for Barella to get things going. James Conrad, I mentioned earlier, was off to a great start. He got 7 out of the first 7 and then picked up birdies on 9 and 11. Here he is on 13. And he had missed the Mando. And so from there, it looks like he's going to be saving the par.
As we know, Isaac doesn't go to the sidearm all that often, but from this angle, a nice little chip sidearm, we saw it from Ricky earlier, is really what you need to do, but Isaac is so good with those touch backhands.
Dialed up for James Conrad on 14. And we saw the drive by Conrad. Here's the result. Again, no putting required. Was able to lay up from there. Now Robinson on 3.
This looks great. That's exactly what you want to do.
This too is tracking right to the basket as Emerson Keith nails it off the pedestal. You hear Double G saying how he likes it. And it looks like it's going to be pretty similar to where Double G is. He may have outdrove him by a few feet.
That's a great shot from James.
Robinson on the tee of 5 has it dialed in.
The hole itself is only 264 feet, but it plays back uphill, so adding a little bit of distance to that.
And Emerson Keith matches. Barella's looking to get something going here. He's got to stay off that tree. And he does hit off it, but it carries to the basket.
Terry, brand new hole this year. It's going to be interesting to see how the players attack it. To my knowledge, there was really not a great option going up the middle.
I believe he was on the card with Barsby earlier today, if I recall, seeing the matchups.
There it is.
Yeah, and that may roll out to near where we saw Wysocki with a look. Almost exactly where Wysocki was in 2. Emerson's going to have the uphill eagle look. And Eagle Daddy has done it. Emerson in for the eagle.
I think an advantage there for Emerson was the fact that he was just outside the circle, able to do his step putt, give it plenty of power, and boy, wasn't far off for missing. But it doesn't matter. There's no pictures on the scorecards.
Can he follow it up with another eagle? It's going to just be a tap-in birdie. So Emerson Keith making very light work here of hole number 8. Clean but short for Barella. Or you can just slam it home. AB drills it from long range. Sexton trying to get around the corner on 17. And he's done so, leaving him a short range birdie look. James Conrad going big on 18. Does he have enough to clear it? Yes, he does. James Conrad on the dance floor looking to close out with a birdie. This is up ahead on 11. Oh, that's a solid putt as well. Slow but steady here for Zachary Nash. And Jake Wolf had aced earlier in the day back on hole number 5. Jake's the side-arming, overhanding specialist. Just a little flick. That's all it is. Jake Wolf, congrats on the ace. Now here's Barella. You gotta love that. Corey Ellis back in the States after a long trip in New Zealand. Klein trying to climb up the hillside.
You definitely want to get those birdies to stay in the tournament.
And that one finds the bottom of the basket. What a putt by Klein.
Gosh, he's been putting good.
And I believe it was just last year, we had Jared Stoll going over the top on 17. And it looks like he's done it again.
This is insane. Was that a replay from last year? It was final round last year, too. Oh, my goodness. This is amazing. Look at where he's throwing.
And I remember talking to him during an event during this off season, and he said, yeah, and I missed the putt. And we said, well, you did, but it was still one of the greatest drives that we saw all year long.
I don't think he's missing this putt, Terry. Look at how close he's going to end up. It's just dropping out of the sky. That's a 10-footer. He's going to make that. Come on. Give the kid an eagle.
And Jared Stoll taps in for the eagle.
Now Klein's got to avoid those, but now it's completely wide open once he gets past that. Perfect execution.
You've called it, Doss. That forehand looks so effortless when thrown correctly, as we just saw. Here's Luke Humphreys. Love that. Inside circle one for Luke Humphreys. Luke Humphreys for 5 birdies in a row and 8 of the last 9.
Talk about flipping the switch. He's done exactly what we talked about, Terry.
Just as he gets to double digits under par, Luke is out of bounds. He'll have the chance to still get the bogey. Now we're with Barella. Clears the trees and gets the kick right to the pin. Barella birdieing hole 16. It's coming up. Birdie attempt from maybe just a few feet closer. Robinson going up and over. Or trying to, but he comes up short. And, Nate, I have to ask, what is Isaac going to be able to do from there? Does he go up the gut, or is he still going to try and go around with the second shot?
He's in no man's land. He doesn't quite have the tunnel on the left, and I think he might be too close to the wall of trees. My guess is that he tries to get crafty with a turnover through the woods.
Hear it clipping branches the whole way, and what a recovery shot.
Wow. Look at what he had to beat at the end. I mean, there was like 7 trees that he just was able to navigate past.
Now with Adam Hammis, T of 18. And Adam's going for it.
If it's got the distance, it's going to be perfect.
And it is. Adam Hammis with a park job to close out.
And if that wind grabs the bottom of the disc at all, that's why it's going so far to the right. The power of AB, huge advantage here. And this looks great. Yes, nice shot from Barella.
Solid close that we just saw there from Anthony Barella, picking up 5 of the last 6. We've talked about this progression of AB, and we saw the stats and all of that earlier in some of our graphics. Tomorrow he joins 2 world champions that are going to be right there with him. Of course, we're talking about Greg Barsby. We're talking about James Conrad. It's going to be interesting to see what those guys can do. Greg was saying, he's like, I'm not sure what the wind is going to do, how that course is going to play. And he certainly doesn't have the power, very few do in the world, have the power that AB has. So I think we're going to see very different games out there, regardless of how much wind is there. I think we're going to see 2 very different attacks by what a James Conrad, what a Anthony Barella does, and even what a Greg Barsby does. And Antala also going to be on the card. So it's going to certainly be exciting for us to head out, and that's our first official look at Lake Waco tomorrow. Hey everyone, Terry Miller, the Disc Golf Guy here. And I feel like there's 2 options that remain. Either you click subscribe and you watch more golf and content right here on the channel, or you go outside and you play. If you're not going to do those, then head on over to the Disc Golf Network and make sure you sign up so you can watch live disc golf almost every weekend.